You've prayed, believed, and waited, yet the world keeps rushing past you. Everyone else seems to be hitting their milestones, while you remain perfectly still, watching their breakthroughs happen in real time. In this isolation, the silence starts to feel personal. It leads to a specific, heavy suspicion that God has simply forgotten you exist. Divine timing rarely aligns with human logic, especially when you are the one trapped in the middle of the delay. This perception of silence marks the exact point where true faith begins to take shape. The stakes of the wait are actually the foundation of the breakthrough. When Jesus heard that his friend Lazarus was dying, he stayed exactly where he was for 2 more days. He let the situation get worse. He let the clock run out. By the time he arrived, Lazarus had been dead for 4 days. Martha met him with a cry that echoes through every waiting season. "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." Behind the scenes, Jesus already held the outcome. The delay was a deliberate, strategic pause intended to serve a purpose that Mary and Martha couldn't yet see. What looks like a God who is too late is actually a divine setup for a conclusion that defies human expectation. Joseph is the primary example of the massive gap between receiving a promise and seeing it fulfilled. He started with a dream of greatness, but his reality immediately turned into a nightmare. Between the dream and the palace sat 13 years of total stagnation. These years were defined by betrayal, false accusations, and the cold reality of a prison cell. Yet the very hardships Joseph endured, the slavery and the imprisonment, were the precise vehicles moving him toward the throne. God used the crisis to position him. Divine work continues through the confusion. The plan is active even when it is entirely invisible from the middle of the trench. There is a common mistake that waiting requires a performance of happiness. In reality, God doesn't expect you to ignore the weight of your circumstances. Job was a man the Bible calls blameless, yet he sat in the ashes of his life and cursed the day he was born. He didn't have it all together. He was in visible, vocal agony. Despite that agony, Job made a conscious choice to remain anchored. He declared that even if he lost everything, he would still choose to trust. Faith is the raw willpower to hold on when doing so makes zero logical sense. It is the decision to stay when every feeling tells you to walk away. This honesty in the struggle is what proves a person's faith. The pain is the crucible that verifies the trust is real. Joseph and Job survived their waiting rooms because they treated the silence as a training ground. They modeled 3 disciplines that turn a passive wait into active preparation. First, they continued to show up in prayer despite the silence. This practice trains the heart to seek the provider rather than just the provision. Second, they guarded their words. When the heart is breaking, the tongue must speak the truth of what God said to override the facts of what the eye see. Third, they maintained their character in the dark. Joseph kept serving in prison, building the internal character necessary to eventually rule a nation. The delay performs a specific work on you. It expands your capacity so you can carry the promise once it arrives. The historical record is consistent. Job received double what he lost. Joseph became the second most powerful man in Egypt. Abraham became the father of nations. Every person in Scripture who endured a hard season emerged with a legacy far greater than their original loss. Your current timeline is not a reason to quit. Human expectations of timing are often the only thing standing in the way of peace. Your breakthrough remains on the calendar. You will eventually look back and see this agonizing delay was a flawless, on-time setup for everything that followed.